Hey, what's up? This is Ben Zinn for NextLevelGuitar.com. Thank you all so much for joining us today. We are bringing you a really cool lesson today on how to play lead guitar over a reggae style. So let's jump right in and check it out. Hey, if you would like a free video lesson that is not available on YouTube with a corresponding ebook, all you have to do is click on the link that you see below here in the YouTube text box. Click on that link and we will send all of that to you for free, available exclusively through NextLevelGuitar.com. Okay, so today we're going to take a look at how to approach playing some lead over a reggae groove. Now, reggae is obviously a different kind of music than a lot of our standard blues, rock, based things that we like to do on guitar. But the really cool thing is we can borrow some of the same approaches for lead playing that we use in our blues and rock style playing and just sort of transplant them right into the reggae style. A lot of fun. So we're going to show you guys how to approach that style with our lead playing and show you some cool examples.
Rasta transfusion.
Rasta transplantation. To start out today, I want to go over real briefly the chords that I'm playing over. I'm thinking G minor. My chord progression is a G minor bar chord here. Then I'm transitioning to a C major. Then I'm playing over an E flat major, followed by a D minor. And that is the chord progression that I'm using in my loop. So this chord progression, as I mentioned, we can borrow a lot of our blues-based ideas over this sort of feel. And I'm going to play a blues scale with an added second. So what this means is typically our normal blues scale would be spelled 1, flat 3, 4, flat 5, 5, flat 7, 1. And this is our familiar position for that shape. Now what I'm going to do is simply add the second note in the scale, the 2, into that. So now my new scale is going to be a hybrid scale, and we would spell it 1, 2, flat 3, 4, flat 5, 5, flat 7, 1, and then repeat. So we're going to show you guys a position that you can use with that scale formula that will work really well in developing some of our lead ideas. Here it is. And now at this point, I'm going to shift up to gain access to some more notes. We're just going to get a little bit more of the fretboard that we can use to develop our licks and improvise with. So I'm going to shift up here. Those of you keeping track, this is the 4 of the scale. And now in this position, I'm going to work my way back down. Now let's run that whole thing down once more. So that's the scale that we're going to draw all of our examples in today's lesson from. Now let's break down some of the lead examples that we played in the beginning. And we'll start with this little lick right here. Okay, so we're doing some slurring here. We have some bending and some pull-offs happening. So let's go through this a little bit slower and take a deeper look at what's happening on each of these notes. Starting out at the 5th fret, 3rd string, and I'm going to bend this up about a whole step and release. If you're just flat of a whole step, sometimes that kind of has a cool sound to it. So it's a bend up and release to start. Okay, the next lick is going to be quicker 8th note triplet. We're going to pull off. and we're going to return back to our root note. So all together as the first half of the lick. A little bit slower. Now, when do I start that lick? I'm starting on the and of 2. So we don't start right on the downbeat. If we're counting along, we're thinking 1 and 2. 1 and 2. So just take a short little breath before you jump into that one. On the and of 2 is where we're going to start that idea. The second half of our lick is going to start out much the same way, and we're just going to close it off a little bit differently. Here's the second half of that idea. I start out with the same phrasing, 1 and 2. And when I end on my second fret note here, I'm just going to give it a little bit of a half step tug to put a nice little tail on it. And you can experiment with that. We're essentially just adding some creative vibrato to the end of the lick. So we piece those two together and we have a complete lick that works really well over the chord progression. And here it is once more in context with our backing track. Okay, so let's break this one down a little bit further here. I'm going to start out on the same note and in the same phrasing, by the way, on the and of 2. I'm going to start out bending the 5th fret 3rd string up one whole step, but I'm also pre-positioning my index finger to bar the 3rd fret at strings 1 and 2 here. This is going to set me up for the notes that directly follow my first note. So let's play up to there. We're starting with our bend at the 5th fret, up a whole step, and we're playing our 2 barred notes. And I'm returning down and hitting 6th fret, 2nd string, 3rd fret, 2nd string. And when I get here, I'm running down the 3 notes of the blues scale, 6th fret, 5th fret, and 3rd fret, but I'm doing 2 pull-offs with a triplet phrasing. Okay, continuing on, we're playing our 5th fret, 4th string, 3rd fret, 3rd string. So the first half of this lick could be considered to be this. Now the second half is going to find me sliding into the 7th fret of the 3rd string with my middle finger. Doesn't really matter where you start the slide because it's just a quick shoot up. I'm not going to hold that note before I slide it up. Play the string and slide directly into the 7th fret. And I'm going to answer that up here on the 1st string, 6th fret and 8th fret. And at the end of that phrase, I'm going to bend my 8th fret note up a whole step. Let's piece together that whole lick now. Let's take a look at one more lead example that draws upon some of our blues and rock-based lead playing influences. Here it is all together, and then we'll break it down. Okay, so this example is going to find us starting out by doing a quick slide into the 7th fret, 3rd string, much like we did in our second example. Starts out very similar. This time, however, we're going to slide down 6th fret to 5th fret, but once again, that first note is not counting for time, so just play the note and slide directly into your targeted note, which is your 5th fret. Next, we're going to have another triplet. I'm going to start out by pulling off from 5th fret to 3rd fret and come right back to the 5th fret, but pick that note the second time. So pull off and then back to a picked note. And then we're going to close out 3rd fret, 5th fret, quick bend up, and then choke the note. So up to that point. And the second half of our lick is going to find us pre-bending the 2nd fret up a whole step. So I'm going to bend this, up a half step, 2nd fret up a half step. And I'm going to play and release this, and then pull off to the open 3rd string. And then we'll close out here. Here's that second half broken down one more time. And now the whole thing all put together. And here it is one more time against our backing track. All right, there we have it. Thank you so much for checking out the lesson today. Thanks so much for joining us. Please visit our website, nextlevelguitar.com. We have so much great content there. We have videos for players of all skill levels across a multiple amount of styles. There's so much great additional stuff there. So I encourage you guys to head over there, nextlevelguitar.com, and I'll see you back here next time.